There is a lot of limited sneakers releasing around the corner, such as some Nike and Off-White sneakers, and even some Jordans. Today, I'll be going over how you can cop from the Sneakers Pass. Simply because this was a highly requested video for a couple of weeks now, so I just figured, you know what, might as well get this out of the way, so let's jump into it. So there's going to be two parts to this video. There's going to be the fundamental part, which basically just talks about some tips and tricks for the Sneakers Pass and just how it works. Then there's also going to be the part for spoofing your location, whether you're on Android or if you're on iPhone. If you're already a pro and you know what you're doing for the Sneakers Pass, feel free to skip to this portion of the video just so you can get to the spoofing part. And I also just wanted to let you know, guys, that the spoofing doesn't only relate to Nike sneakers. You could obviously use that for a lot of other things. For instance, the Frenzy app often does location-based drops, but the thing with them is, although you might have to, say, be in California to order a specific shoe, they will ship no matter where you are. So if I'm in New York City and I spoof my location to California, they'll still ship to me despite it being location-based. And also, there's some other fun stuff you could do with it that I'll mention later, but anyway, let's jump into this. So, as most of you should know by now, Sneakers Pass is a way to reserve sneakers for in-store pickup. So, for that reason, I have two disclaimers. The first disclaimer is that you have to physically, obviously, pick them up. So make sure that you're willing to drive to either of these stores. So there's a Chicago store, there's also a New York City store, and occasionally they do the LA store. And other than that, I know for UK, occasionally they do London, I believe. And I also am confident that in the coming few years or months or say, they should be adding some more locations as well, so that's good news. And I know actually Houston actually does them sometimes, but for the most part, it's mainly New York City and Chicago. Now, the second disclaimer I have is, although you might be doing everything completely right, you have to understand that there's a finite amount of pairs when it comes to these Sneakers Passes or just releases in general. And this is especially important to note when it comes to these Sneakers Passes. I don't want you to be discouraged when you miss a couple of passes in a row. The reason is because there's so few pairs on these Sneakers Passes and there's only so many people who can cop. For example, usually pairs range around from 500 to 1,000 pairs for in-store on a general release. Then for more limited shoes, such as the Serena Williams Blazers, there was only about 100 shoes per locations. I believe less for Chicago, actually. But I think an important thing to note here is that there is no way at all to bot the Sneakers Pass. So therefore, we all have an equivalent chance of copying, but there are two differences, so I don't know if you want to call it equivalent. So basically, it has a lot to do with your reflexes. Not only that, it has to do with how fast your internet connection is. So obviously, I can't control any of that, but the more times you go for these Sneakers Passes, obviously, the more likely you are to eventually cop. But anyway, let's go. There's going to be two types of passes. There's going to be like a shock pass, and there's also going to be a 15-minute warning pass. The shock pass has no warning at all, evidently, and there is a Sneakers app notification that is released about 3 minutes late, which is way too long. So for all you guys out there, feel free to download the SolLinks app for free. Also, want to make a note that there is no sponsors in this video at all. I'm not sponsored by anyone or anything in this video. Now, I know the SolLinks app isn't obviously the fastest, but I do think that it is adequate for something that's free. But without a doubt, the best way you're going to be notified for any of these drops or just shock drops in general is obviously going to be through Slack groups or Discord groups. At warning pass, I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. So basically, when it comes to these, they'll load up, and then 15 minutes from them loading up, they will go live. Now, several times they have gone live a little bit earlier than that, so just to be safe, I would highly recommend just staying on the app and staying on that homepage. So basically what's gonna happen is when it goes live, right underneath the homepage that says Sneakers Pass with the shoe on it, you'll see a black reserve button pop up. I personally keep my finger or thumb hovering over that. I'm just slightly tapping it like this, so when it does go live and it pops up, you're already tapping it. Literally every second counts when it comes to this because this is a first come first serve. It's not a Leo drop where they let everyone order. So after you tap the reserve now button, you want to be as fast as possible, and hopefully it loads fast for you, because sometimes it doesn't for me and it really pisses me off. You got to look down, and underneath you'll see the locations. If you're in a 25-mile radius of either of the locations, obviously, we'll get to the spoofing part a little later in this video, you will click the one which is nearest to you. Then after you do this, you simply select your size and click reserve now. After this, it will load for a decent amount of time, or perhaps it might go really quick, and then you'll see this screen up here if you did happen to get them. I've seen so many of you guys getting these on my Twitter, and it's really makes me happy seeing this, so trust me guys, It is possible. Don't ever try to scapegoat bots when it comes to these passes, because there are no bots that can do these passes. But also, I don't want you to blame yourself for this, just because, like I said, there's a finite amount of pairs, and there's not many at all. Alright, so now we are going to get into spoofing. So let's jump into it. So first of all, we're going to start off with iPhone users, simply because I know that the majority of you guys use iPhones, but don't worry, we'll jump to Android later. Step 1, you're going to want to go to the website on the screen. I'll actually put a link in the description, so it's very easy for you guys. Again, I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not sponsored by anyone in this video. Then step 2, you want to download the free trial before a drop. So I will usually let you guys know when there's going to be a drop or a sneakers pass coming. For instance, I know the Rookie of the Year 1 should be having one if you want to use your free trial then, or you might want to wait until an upcoming off-white drop. It's completely up to you. But basically, the free trial only lasts 48 hours, so you want to keep this in mind. Or, of course, if you're willing to make the investment, you can buy the full version, and it's really not expensive. So basically, you're going to want to click the store, then you click iTools from there. So when your free trial runs out, you'll need these things called keys, and you can buy them in bulk for cheaper and split them up with some of your friends. Now, I completely understand that a lot of you guys out there don't have friends that are into this kind of stuff. Some of your friends might not be into sneakers at all, and that's fine. I completely understand that, and for that reason, when I get my group going, I am going to be doing like some of the group buys for you guys, just so you don't have to spend $30 for one key when you could be spending $35 on 5 keys. So in reality, you're only going to be paying about $7 to $8 for a key when you might have been paying $30 for a key. I obviously don't want you guys having to waste any of your money. That's ridiculous in my opinion. So after you've obtained the keys, all you guys got to do is make sure you've obviously downloaded the app that I showed you. So basically, you just open up the app, go to the top right corner once you've opened it up, and you have to make sure your iPhone is plugged in through USB, by the way. So go to the top right and click register. Right now, mine says registration because I'm already registered because I bought the full version. And then you will see 2 boxes. One's a small box and one's a big box. When you receive your keys, you get 2 keys. One's a small key and one's a very long key. You put the small key in the small box, obviously, then you put the big key in the big box. Then you just click register or whatever verification button that's there. It's very simple. It's a very easy process. You guys really can't mess this up. So now once you've done this, you're all set. You permanently can spoof your location whenever you want, whether it's for sneakers or just for recreational use. For instance, if I'm feeling like having some fun with my friends someday, I could tell them I'm in Hawaii. I could take the city for Hawaii Adidas, say, and I could put it into the little search box, click move here after I press go, and then if I check my Snapchat app, it will show that I'm in Hawaii. You can tell your friends to go look at the Snapchat app. I don't know, I'm just trying to find a fun way to illustrate how easy this is to you guys. But basically, my main point is that it's not just for Nike sneakers. You could also use this for, say, the Frenzy app like I mentioned before. I think the Adidas app is still location-based for some drops. There's so many opportunities you could use this with, so for like a $7 to $8 investment, if I do these group buys or if you find some friends, definitely, it is absolutely worth it, even if you take all L's on the sneakers pass. Also, I wanted to mention, you could actually set this up the night before. Say you know you're going to be in school or you know you're going to be at work. As long as you don't restart your phone or shut off your phone, it will stay in that location. Just don't try to use your GPS or anything like that. You could unplug your phone, bring it to school/work, whatever it is, and then you will notice you are still in New York or whatever location you set it for. Of course, whenever you want to reset this, all you have to do is go into your computer and click stop simulation, or you could just restart your phone or shut it off. Again, guys, that's it. It is so easy, it's unbelievable. I know you guys might have been thinking that, well, spoofing your location, it's got to be a little more complex than that. No, it's not at all. This is literally just so easy. So yeah, that's it. But now let's move on to Android. And in my opinion, I think Android's got it even easier than iPhone users. And the reason I say this is because there's multiple apps that you could actually download for Android. And it's funny the way I found these. The way I found these was actually for the Pokemon Go app. And I know some of them don't work for the Pokemon Go app. They work, but they usually get you banned on the Pokemon Go app. I don't personally play it. This is just how I found it. But one of the best ones that I found so far was Fake GPS Free. So this one you don't even have to pay anything for. So lucky you guys, lucky Android users. You guys got the Serena head start. Then you also get this app for free. I'm a little pissed. But one of the main things I wanted to mention when it comes to this, you have to downgrade to under Google Play 12, I believe it is. And then once you download the app, it's pretty self-explanatory from there, and then you'll be good to go. So make sure you downgrade to Google Play 12 or lower. If you don't do this, I don't think it will work. Maybe it just won't work for Pokemon Go and it'll still work for sneakers. I'm not 100% sure, but if it's not working, try downgrading, obviously. But with that, I'm going to conclude the video. If you guys have any suggestions for Android users or for iPhone users, something that might be free that we could try out, of course, this is a community where we're all trying to help each other out. If you guys have anything, share it down below. And also, if you happen to enjoy this video or if you perhaps learn a thing or two, feel free to leave a like. Also, subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay updated on any hyped shoe that's going to be releasing in the future and for simple tips and tricks like this. With that, though, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and good luck on all these future releases.
Get your foot off my foot.